What's up, guys? I'm attorney Ali Awad, the CEO lawyer, and today I want to tell you about the 5 things that you should know about your car insurance policy. Let's get started. Here are the 5 things that everyone should know on their car insurance policy. First, liability, uninsured motorist or underinsured motorist coverage, comprehensive, collision, and finally, medical payments or personal injury protection. We're going to go through every single one of these and explain to you exactly what each of them means and how much coverage you should have to adequately protect yourself. Let's start with liability coverage. Liability coverage is usually the bare minimum insurance coverage that you have on your insurance policy. You know how most people say, hey, I've got liability or I've got full coverage? Well, liability is designed to protect only the people that you hit. For example, if you're involved in an accident and someone hits you and the accident is not your fault, then they must have liability coverage to protect you. But if they don't have any liability coverage, then you have to tap into your own insurance policy in order to get paid. So, if you only have liability coverage and no additional coverage on your insurance policy, you could get stuck paying for your damages and your medical bills even if the accident is not your fault. Number 2, so how do you protect yourself if you're involved in an accident that is not your fault, but the person that hits you doesn't have liability coverage? That's where we go into uninsured motorist coverage. Uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage is designed to protect you if the accident is not your fault and the person who hits you does not have sufficient coverage. Let's say, for example, you're stopped at a red light and someone rear-ends you and they're borrowing someone's car without their permission. That means that they are not a permissive driver on that insurance policy, and because of that, you could get stuck with absolutely no recovery for that accident. So, in order to protect yourself, you must have uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. In my experience, I recommend a minimum of $100,000 to $300,000 in coverage on your policy. The 100 stands for the per person coverage and the 300 stands for the per accident coverage. So a 100/300 policy is $100,000 of coverage per person and $300,000 of coverage per accident. If you look at your insurance policy and it says 2550 or 5100 or 25500, it just means that the first number covers per person and the second number covers per accident. For liability coverage, I recommend a minimum of $100,000 per person and $300,000 per accident. Most people only have a minimum policy of $10, $20, or $25.50. The problem with that is if you get involved in an accident and you injure someone for more than the $25,000 or $50,000 in coverage that you have, you could become 100% liable for the damages. That's because if you cause an accident that is your fault, the person you hit is not required to collect from your insurance. They can still sue you personally, so it makes more sense to have better coverage just to be on the safe side. Now, this is the part of the video that I absolutely hate because I have to say a term that I don't agree with at all. Full coverage. There is no such thing as full coverage insurance. That's because there is no insurance at all that covers you fully for your injuries. Full coverage only covers the damage to your car, and that's usually split up into number 3, comprehensive coverage, and number 4, collision coverage. Comprehensive coverage basically means that it will cover the damages to your car if you hit a fixed object or something that is not insured like a deer or a building or an act of God happens like a hurricane or a tree branch falls on your car, something that is not your fault but no one else is to blame. Collision coverage happens when you cause an accident with another vehicle that is your fault. So remember, comprehensive and collision are 2 separate types of coverages, but they both fall under the umbrella of full coverage insurance. But full coverage insurance does not cover your injuries fully. What happens if you're in an accident that is your fault? How do you get your medical bills covered? Great question. That brings us to number 5. Medical payments and personal injury protection. is the only type of insurance coverage that protects you for your injuries, even if the accident is your fault. Some states call it MedPay, some states call it PIP. Basically, what it means is that this money is allocated for your medical bills, whether or not the accident is your fault. Remember, if you're involved in an accident and you have full coverage insurance, the only coverage that will protect you for your injuries from your car insurance policy is medical payments or personal injury protection. I recommend having a minimum of $5,000 in medical payments or personal injury protection. The more the merrier. When it comes to car insurance, there is so much terminology about liability, full coverage, comprehensive, collision, MedPay, PIP, all this stuff. How do you know if you have the right type of insurance? Well, if you send me a message on Instagram or if you reach out to me on Facebook or any other social media platform, I will tell you exactly what type of insurance coverage you need to have. Also, if you text me the word insurance, I will give you my specific recommendations at 404-531-7527. Text me the word insurance and I'll tell you exactly what insurance company is best, which ones to stay away from, and what's the best type of coverage to have to adequately protect yourself. I'm attorney Ali Awad, the CEO lawyer. I hope this video has helped you in learning what type of coverage is best suited for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on social media at CEO Lawyer or visit my website at ceolawyer.com.